Dr. Ryland Vase reached the bunker at a run. The wind outside screamed. Dust hit his visor like needles. He ducked into the entrance tunnel and sealed the hatch behind him. The pressure lock hissed. Then the world went quiet. Not peaceful. Quiet like fear. Dr. Vase stepped into the main chamber. His plated suit scraped the reinforced doorframe. The sound made several KETHARAI flinch. Inside, the air was thick. Hot. Stale. Full of the sharp musk of anxious bodies. Emergency lamps painted everything in weak amber light. Adults stood packed together. White fur. Hard pale carapace plates. Claws curled tight. Cubs pressed into them. Small shapes with wide eyes. No one spoke. No one moved. They were all staring at one thing. A human woman on a cot in the center of the room, covered in emergency thermal blankets. Strapped down so she would not fall. Unconscious. Dr. Vase dropped his medical kit on the floor. It hit with a dull thud. He forced his voice to stay calm. Move back. Give me space, now. The adult KETHARAI shifted. Slow, reluctant, as if stepping away from the human would change her fate. Dr. Vase knelt beside the cot. He checked the monitor taped to the frame. Pulse unstable. Breathing shallow. Temperature too high. He touched the human's wrist. Her skin was burning hot. He leaned closer. Her lips were cracked. Her face was swollen. Grit clung to her eyelashes. Even under the blankets he could see it. Burns. Bad burns. He looked up at the crowd. What happened here? A massive figure stepped forward. The matriarch, old, powerful, her white fur was marked with gray. Her carapace plates overlapped like armor. She blocked the overhead light without trying. Her translator clicked and rasped. The xenobiologist, Dr. LENA MORROW. She saved our young Dr. Vase, stared at the human again. A human scientist, on a KETHARAI world, lying half dead in their bunker. That was not normal. That was not safe. Before he could ask more, a small cub pushed through the adults. Too small to stop, too desperate to care. Its voice was high and shaky. The storm came. The red storm that burns. Another cub spoke over it. It lasted 7 days. 7. We could not leave. Dr. Vase felt ice in his chest. He knew the storms of KETHARAI 4. Silicate storms. Electrically charged dust. Wind that could flay flesh. Even a hard shell could fail. A soft human body should not survive even minutes. He kept his hands moving. He opened his kit. He pulled out sterile foam. He asked again, "Why is she like this?" The matriarch's claws flexed. Our water ran out on the 4th day. We rationed. But, her voice broke. Cubs cannot live long without water. An adult male beside her spoke low. By the 5th day, they were dying. A heavy silence fell. Dr. Vase carefully pulled back a corner of the blanket. Just enough. His breath caught. The human's arm was a horror. Angry red blisters. Skin peeled in strips. Raw, wet patches where the storm had stripped deeper. He swallowed hard. He whispered. She went outside in that. A cub squeaked from the crowd. Alone, Dr. Vase looked at the matriarch. "Tell me everything." The matriarch nodded once, slow, like the memory hurt. When the water ended, she said, "We heard the CUBS crying. The youngest were weak. Their voices grew smaller. The adults could endure longer. But the young could not. We searched the bunker stores again. And again. Nothing. We checked the emergency tanks. Empty. We tried to melt reserve ice. There was none. We prepared to watch them die." Dr. Vase pressed a coagulant patch to a torn section of skin. He applied regenerative gel. His hands were steady. His mind was not. The matriarch continued. The human listened. Dr. Morrow watched our cubs. She did not speak at first. Then she stood up. She said the human base had water. She said it was 20 kilometers. An adult growled. 20 kilometers. Through that storm? Through skyfire. The matriarch's translator rasped. We told her no. We begged her. We said even we would not go. We said she would die, but she did not sit down. She did not argue. She only looked at the cubs. Then she began to prepare. Dr. Vase asked. How the matriarch answered. She wrapped herself in reflective sheeting. She sealed her suit as best she could. Not perfect. Not for that storm. But she did it anyway. She took our old terrain vehicle. The one we use for short runs. The one we do not trust. The cub spoke again. We watched her lights disappear. The storm swallowed her. We thought we would never see her again, doctor. Vase inserted an IV. He started fluids. He checked the human's airway. He fitted a respirator seal. He saw the numbers. Still dangerous? Still unstable? But holding. He asked quietly. Then what? A different CUB lifted its head. Its voice trembled with excitement and fear. 6 hours later, we heard a crash. The bunker door shook. The terrain vehicle burst inside. It was broken. It was smoking. But it came. And she came. The cubs leaned forward as one. She had water, the cub said. So much. Containers. Enough for all of us. The matriarch's voice turned soft. She handed us the containers. She made sure the smallest drank first. She counted cups. She watched their mouths. She did not drink. Not first. Only when every CUB had water. Then she fell. Dr. Vase closed his eyes for a second. That detail hit him the hardest. Not the storm. Not the distance. Not the burns. The choice. She was dying. And still, she made sure the children lived. He spoke under his breath. Human. Impossible. Then he forced himself back to work. He injected stimulants designed for human physiology. He adjusted the drip. He sealed the worst burns with biofoam. He monitored her lungs. Her breathing was thin and raspy, but it was there. Hours passed. No one left. Adults stood like statues, white fur shining in dim light. CUBS curled near the cot. Refusing to sleep far away, Dr. Vase stayed on his knees. He checked her pulse again. He checked her eyes. He wiped grit from her cheek. He whispered again. She should be dead. By any medical logic. An adult KETHARAI answered, low. But she is human, Dr. Vase kept treating. He adjusted. He waited. He listened. Then, near the end of the 3rd hour, he saw it. A flutter, a twitch. The human's eyelids trembled. A ripple moved through the bunker. A collective inhale. The matriarch leaned closer, her massive body shaking. The human's eyes opened. Brown, soft, fragile in a room full of predators. She blinked slowly. She focused. Her lips moved. A rasp came out. Hey, the cubs, are they? Dr. Vase leaned in. He kept his voice gentle. They are alive. You did it. Her eyes filled with tears. The matriarch spoke, voice breaking. They live. All of them live because of you. The cubs surged forward. Not rough. Careful. They touched her arm with whiskers. With tiny claws, they chirped gratitude. Like prayers, Dr. Morrow tried to smile. Pain flashed across her face. But she held the smile. She whispered, I could not let them die. They are just children. The matriarch lowered her head. Her voice came slow, heavy. We have lived here 10,000 generations. We are hunters. We are predators. We pride ourselves on strength, on survival. On claws and shell, she paused. The next words took effort. But we did not imagine that a small, soft creature would sacrifice herself for young, not her own. Other voices joined around the cot. You owed us nothing. You could have stayed safe, but you went anyway. Drive. Morrow swallowed. She whispered. It was right. The matriarch rumbled. We thought humans were weak, fragile, needing protection. We were wrong. She lifted one claw. This is true strength, to walk into death for others. Stronger than claw, stronger than carapace, stronger than any weapon we can forge. A small CUB climbed onto the cot edge, trembling with bravery. It pressed its head against Dr. Morrow's bandaged arm. It whispered, "You are our hero." Dr. Morrow looked around. Alien faces, predators, powerful bodies, all watching her with respect, with gratitude, with something deeper, family. She breathed in, shallow. Then she said, "Then we are pack. Pack protects pack," the bunker answered with a deep rumble. Like thunder inside metal, Dr. Vase finally exhaled. Because in that bunker, under a hostile sky, one truth became clear. Humanity's greatest power is not weapons, not tech, not machines. It is the heart that refuses to leave children behind. It is the will to suffer, so someone else can live. If you enjoyed this HFY Sci-Fi story, like the video. Subscribe Neon Cub Tales for more, and comment your favorite moment.